is and what it means? It's quantum mechanics from the year 500 BC when the Jews developed the theory of relativity. Another Shabbos miracle. Green Living, have you gotten your herb yet from the dispensary? Hello? Hello?
I think he fell into the toilet. We might have to send a rescue party.
Have you ever fallen in the toilet? I never have.
Never have. Always the first time.
You know, one time I ended up in the bathtub, puking, shitting, and diarrheaing, and then I turned the water on, and then I ended up being in a pool of my own diarrhea and vomit. And I thought if I died in my own vomit and I drowned in my own shit, what a horrible way to go. But as you can see, I did not die and drown in my own vomit and shit. And some of us, on our worst days, it turns out to be the best day. Because you can only go up from the bottom. Bottoms to the tops. Amos, are you still complaining? Do you still think the Israeli future is dismal? Oh, Amos, let it go. You look so happy in your PTR.
What the fuck is happening here?
I don't know. What's happening, Amos?
Rain?
Amos, Raboinoi Shaloiloim, Shavua Tov. Dr. Banavi, Dr. Banavi, you're interrupting. You're interrupting. And you're not meditating.
What's going on? What's the matter?
Can you give me a mod? I want to get rid of this guy.
Oh, wow.
Who's fucking with who now?
This guy.
I've offended Dr. Banavi somehow.
Republican, be nice. Be nice.
She wants to kick me. She wants to kick me. Why does she want to?
Crying.
Why do you want to fire me, Dr. Banavi? Why do you want to fire me? Why do you want to kick me out?
Because you're annoying.
Dilam, do you speak Farsi?
What did he say? What did he say?
Watch, you won't be able to say what I said.
I don't know, he's annoying. He's just like...
Exactly, because all communication is hypnosis and you have amnesia. You can't even remember what I said.
I cannot even... No, I cannot even...
Somebody in that room just PTR'd my house photo. They know where I live.
And I never forget what my mama co-signed for
my mama co-signed for my car.
For my car. You know, all my friends, you know, always hanging out in the hood and shit. And I'll never forget one of them girls was like, you think you better than us? You think you better than me? Because your mama co-signed for you to get a car? I never forget that. You know what I mean? I even had like a hood-ass nigga say the same shit to me.
This is like meeting somebody that says, do you know Peter?
Get money.
Agency, there's going to be other complications. With possibly around the world. Uh-oh.
No, don't let me interrupt you, Daniel. I know that you're course-correcting Donald's relevancy and his reverency. I mean, let's be honest, Donald is a super troll. He's a Casanova. He's a supernova. He is the spiral nebulae itself.
Hey Donald, do you want a mod, either Daniel or myself, so we can get rid of this clown, please?
No, I don't want mods. Look, Mark.
Are you calling me a clown? Because I have to defend myself and say that you are the clown, sir.
John, would you chill, please? Hold on a second, I'm talking.
I'm very chill, but I was just insulted. He called me a clown, and I just have to say, it takes a clown to know a clown. And I am now complete. Sorry for interrupting you, Daniel. Please proceed.
John, what's your... Mark, this is why you get under my skin. I know the intentionality behind... You say things like, look at nature, and then you're going to see that there's a God. But then we're going to have to attribute
I'm such a
intentionality
troll.
in some way.
I am such a
to this
goddamn
God.
troll.
And we're going to have to look at some of the really terrible things that happen, and presumably this God that you acknowledge is not completely. It's not a good God. Or do you say that the God is good?
Yeah, and I understand, Daniel, what you're saying with that. And I know why you feel that this power that we're a part of may, if we're saying it's intelligent, if I am saying it's an evil intelligence, as you were asserting in the last conversation, all the nasty stuff that happens to the sick and the weak and the, and I contend
knock you the fuck out, man.
Whoa, bro, you hear that? That's aggression. And for you to criticize me when you would verbally assault somebody and say that you would punch them out, like, that's psychotic, man. Let it go and be peaceful, for Christ's sake. Damn.
Again, I had to step away for a minute, but I'm back now.
Mark, this was my off-site. So let's postulate that there is this being, this thing that kicked it all off. He went, he's always been, he's eternal, but he decides, or he just does, and he creates, presumably from within some potentials. So he has a palette before him, a paintbrush.
Go enjoy your Shabbos,
endless
demon.
hues, endless colors,
Demon
endless
spawn.
texture. And he decides to create, or this thing decides to create, and it creates this as opposed to something else. And I ask you, why would an artist or a creator create something that we see here, which involves so much dysfunction, so much pain, suffering, so much redundancy, so much cruelty, so much ambivalence? Why? Why would you want to say that this is the intent of a being? Because that being would surely.
Daniel, it's because there's no other way to make the system work. It takes all those horrible things to make all the wonderful things. It's opposite world.
John, come on, man. Let Mark, please. You can go next. Mark, what do you have to say about that?
Yeah, I think it's first of all, it's a very valid thought that you're having there. I don't know the answers to a lot of these questions. I believe I have a trust and faith. I can't even call it a truth because I don't necessarily believe there's a truth here, that there is something more after this very real life is over. I don't know if it's true or not. I don't dwell thinking about it, but to answer your question, I've got to be hypothetical with my thought of what this force could possibly be thinking
right now.
Oh my God! Did you hear that? He said he's gonna punch you right in your fucking mouth right now, Daniel. I mean, what's going on here? This is bizarre, sir.
This is what Mark does. He comes in and he's a fucking rabble rouser. He likes to. I'm just tired of it. He knows what he's doing.
I know, but saying that you're gonna punch somebody, don't you understand that you're giving yourself a dopamine feedback loop by making a verbal, physical threat against somebody on a social audio chit chat app? I mean, who are you, Tony Soprano?
Daniel, I just want you to know that I'm trying to be sincere. I want to be delicate with you because I know you get mad for some reason, the stuff I'm saying, but I was clearly saying was that for myself, it's not something, it's just...
I'm trying to fuck up right now. Are you going to respond to what I said or not?
I thought I was responding. I really did.
You're not, dude. Explain to me.
All right, well, here's the thought. With an afterlife, with the thought I was getting to a possible next life. What if this life, this physical world, what if when a young person dies of some starvation? First of all, we've all beat the astronomical Powerball odds of being here in the first place. This consciousness of existence that we've been blessed to be a part of, and the astronomical odds of each one.
Shut the fuck up when I'm speaking.
Should blow your mind. Should blow your mind away as well as it does mine. So I'm saying here that
I think this is the definition of what's it called?
On the other side, it could be a positive thing. I don't know.
Oh, you're saying it with respect to eternity future, where there's a paradise awaiting, a child that has suffered leukemia, or an African
What's
child
it
that has been
called?
drinking mud and has its asshole blown out by diarrhea. There's
No,
you know
Daniel,
what,
that's not what I'm thinking. That's not
Mark,
what I'm
do
saying.
not interrupt me. This is your pig. You're
What's it called?
Listen,
What's it fucking
calm
called?
down.
You can do this, Daniel. Don't get so irate. Come on, we're just talking.
I'm with
But you
Daniel
just
on
keep
this one.
avoiding my question, dude. You just keep dancing around it. I'm telling you.
What's that movie, Daniel? What's that movie with that guy? Oh, you have Tourette's, Daniel. That's what it is. Have you ever been diagnosed with Tourette's? And that's a serious question.
No, I'm just pissed off.
That's a
I'm
dumb
sorry.
fucking question. Why'd you ask that?
Because you know the movie with Deuce Bigelow, Male Gigolo.
He's
You know,
angry.
it's a
about
comedy
that.
movie.
Maybe you could ask him if he's bipolar, but Tourette's is a dumb question.
Oh, really?
Look, let's not get it. Look, Mark, don't put Mark off the hot seat. Please, explain to me, regale us. Describe to us how this being makes all things better because there's an eternity future of paradise. How? Why? How does that justify it? How does it justify what they suffer?
All right, again, Daniel, what I was saying in the last conversation we had together, in my personal opinion, theism and atheism, to me, is more of a mood. Sometimes I get in those sour moods like you're in right now, where I'm thinking there's nothing more than this. This is it. We come from something there's no intelligence behind it. When I die, I get buried and I go back to the earth, which could be a good thing as well. I was already there one
Shut
time.
the fuck up when I'm drunk.
Daniel, wait. Where I'm going to go probably is where I came from, which is dark. So it's not that bad. I would like it to continue. This consciousness of existence, I would like to move on. And I feel that there's intelligence behind it all, and that this intelligence plays a conscious active role in my life. Come on, that's all I'm saying.
Mark, because you were fortunate enough to be born in a place where you didn't have to worry about clean drinking water. See, this bias that you're exercising and expressing is revolting, and you don't even see it. You're like, God helps me create, and I worship this God. But on the other side of the globe, he's just completely neglecting a child that just wants a drop of water that's clean, that doesn't have shit in it.
But Daniel, what about the dying hyenas that don't have the water either? So wait, how drunk are you, and what kind of spirits or wine or beer are you drinking?
Donald, can you mod me for a minute, please?
No,
sir?
please, Donald. Let's have a moment with Daniel because he's using a lot of aggressive vulgarity, Donald.
Bro, you got
Donald, if you mod him, I'm out of here. I know he's going to...
I mean, I'll be perfectly honest with you, Donald, that if we don't discuss the vulgarity, the violent, angry rhetoric, and we just go on talking about God or the non-existence of God, and we don't address Daniel's violent threats of killing people. I mean, Daniel, how drunk are you, and how badly do you think you... Oh, you're kidding around.
I'm not.
I see, you're
I'm
joking.
being silly.
Oh, I see. All right, never mind. Continuing on.
Mark, the idea is that, look, you see God in things like, my creativity and the beautiful things I do with my gardens and what I do with agriculture, things of this nature. But you then you're going to have to see God in certain things that are less palatable, which is the suffering of children and things of this nature. Like the fact that there isn't clean drinking water or electricity for certain people. You're just trading.
But can't you see God at Planned Parenthood when they cut the arms and the head off of a baby and they suck that baby into an oil barrel? I mean, can't you see Jesus Christ in that little child as it's being dismembered in that young black girl's uterus and sucked into an oil barrel? And the Planned Parenthood abortion provider, her name is Dr. Sarah. Hello?
Can you control this too?
I'm just talking about the truth of the world, the truth of the earth.
Hang on, can we not talk about that?
You're boring, dude. Come on, just go away.
Yeah, Donald, you got to moderate, dude, or people can leave the room. Like, he's
Yeah, I
obviously
stepped away. I stepped away for a couple of minutes.
Then mod Daniel. Let him mod with you.
Donald, if you want, you
Yeah,
can
just go ahead. Actually, mod Daniel. I'd like to see what happens. Just mod him,
You know,
please.
Republican. You know what's sad is that, like, presumably I've seen interviews with you where you've been like a normal guy and expressed your view and were acting sane. Well, why don't you do that in here? I don't get it. You could contribute a lot. Instead of
Oh,
being
I'm
like-
sorry, because I've only heard you make verbal assault threats about 3 times, and you're correcting what I'm talking about, Daniel.
So why speak in
Why
character?
make verbal assault threats multiple times to innocent young Mark here, who's
Well,
just
why-
trying to
why-
express
Why
himself?
hide behind a persona when you can actually, engage?
Why ask for the green bean so you can fulfill your psychotic desires of power?
Is threatening people again?
Actually, Daniel never
Please
asked.
speak,
Someone
yeah.
else suggested. Someone else suggested. He didn't ever ask.
Oh, that's true, actually. You're right.
All right, Mark. The idea is going to be: look. At once you see the beauty of God, but don't you also see the cruelty and the neglect of God as well? Can't you see both of them?
Most certainly.
Okay, but then why would you worship it? Why would you call this thing a god if that were the case?
I would have to say, and you'd probably agree, because I was raised in a certain faith, like you. I think we've already touched upon, we come from the same faith that we were raised in. And there's a lot of stuff I liked about it. And there's a lot of stuff I didn't like. Even as a small child, I never believed any of it. But I loved when Thomas Paine, here's what changed my world, Daniel, when it comes to, first of all, I've always believed that this power, even as a small child, talks to me. I always believed that, and maybe that's instilled from the faith, because they say that in the faith that I was raised in. So I always believed that even as a small child, I sensed that I was never alone. And it's my whole life. I feel like I could go anywhere and never feel alone. And I think of things that come to me that are original. And those are, for me, I call those revelations, surprising truths that come to me in a surprising way. So,
Did you ever test them?
yeah. Did I what, Daniel? Or
No,
Donald?
it's Donald. I'm sorry for interrupting. Did you ever test those revelations?
I think you can test it too. Yes, I have tested it. I've tested there's things that happen in my. Here's a great example.
Well, hang on. What'd you write down? Did you write anything down while you were testing it?
Yeah, it's a story that I have to share with
Write
you.
down any data. Write down any data
Yeah.
about any of your tests.
I don't write things down, so I went by
How
memory.
can you compare? If you've not written anything down, how can you compare the tests to each other to see if they're accurate or not?
Well, he's kind of writing it down right now. If you'll give him the grace of letting him say it, it's the same thing, Donald.
Well, if you don't write it down, then there's no way to analyze it.
I know, but saying it here is the same thing.
I'm almost done. You can finish. But it's just conforming to your.
This room is so funny because there's a lot of
No,
really
they do a
crazy
lot of
people in
videos
here.
on YouTube. Eve growing,
Daniel's
so a lot
really
of stuff
wild.
is video. So I consider that as writing it down. I have a couple accounts on YouTube. I have a spiritual account and I have a growing account.
Exactly. It transcribes what you even say, just like this app now. It's the same thing as writing, as speaking, is same thing as writing.
Where are these accounts? I'll go right now. YouTube. And it's
Yeah, Google Eve growing, EVE growing.
Oh, I know you. Oh, you grow all that green. Yeah. Donald, he's an expert soilist.
But
Grows a lot of weed.
I'm not an expert in soilist, but thank you for that thought. But I do a lot more on TikTok these days. So if you go to Eve Growing, hopefully it'll bring you to my TikTok. I'm trying to make my videos faster.
How much per ounce?
Following you. How much per ounce?
So this guy's legit. His name is Mark Thomas Paine. His YouTube is pretty cool.
And I feel my mission in life, here, listen to this, believe it or not, is to usher in an agrarian society. Using today's cutting edge growing technology.
Eco-vertical
It
evolution.
starts with me. because nobody
Yeah,
else
this guy's
is
legit.
doing it.
How can I join?
You just come to I have a couple Facebook groups that are private that everybody's welcome to, where I open source these ideas. First of all, you don't have to, all my videos on YouTube is what I'm working on. Growing vertically, using soil, using all the stuff that people are throwing away all day long. It should cost us nothing to grow food for each other and share it. I contend that's where the jobs are going to be.
So hang on, what was the
Good
revelation
point.
that spawned all of these ideas?
All right, here it's a story. If you want to hear the story, I'll share it with you, but I can't be interrupted.
This is what everybody loves.
3 minutes.
3
I
minutes!
could get done.
Oh
2 minutes.
my god.
I can't promise it, just go.
Give it to him.
Here we go.
Here's the deal. I was raised Catholic. I never believed it. Even as a small child, I never believed it. All the sacraments of a Catholic, right up to marriage, and then I started baptizing my children. And anyway, when it came time to confirm my children in the Catholic faith, I said to myself, I don't believe any of it. I never did. Why would I educate my kids on something so important as why would I educate my
Oh my
kids?
god.
Manners?
She love
Why-
black.
I
She
don't
love
believe
black
it.
magic.
I assume that God understands, if he's all knowing and everything, or she's all knowing, understands everything, right? But I did. This time I got on my hands and knees and I asked, listen, if the Bible is the true word of God, I will be the best evangelical ever. No one would be better than me. I just need my own personal revelation, like Paul got on his road to Damascus, like Thomas got, all right? So I did this. I prayed, and I put it out there, knowing that my answer would be answered. My question would be answered, all right? A couple times after, I was on the internet, for sure, and I read these words, the true word of God is the creation we behold. That changed my world. And it's something I already knew. I'm almost done here. I always knew that to be true anyway, but nobody ever said it. And then when I realized the person who said it, Thomas Paine, and his life led, it just sent me on a whole. I got first of all, I received the revelation that I asked for. And again, it's the truth for me that I'm forced to call a faith because, if you don't believe, you don't believe it. But that's what gave me that born again feeling type thing.
How do you connect that thing that you read to God?
Because everything comes from this source. Books, poems, songs are written because people are inspired by the physical evidence that proves God is in the first place. Life, nature, and the universe.
How do you connect that situation that you just said where you read that thing? How do you connect that to God?
Because it was so obvious. I should have known if I wasn't.
It's not obvious to me. It's not obvious to me. So obvious is not a conclusion of any kind. It's not a because of any kind. Unless you just want to say it's a brute fact.
All right, here's a thought, Donald. Here's a thought for you to experiment with, test it. Because I hear where you guys are coming from. Daniel and Donald, I get where you're coming from.
No. I just want you to connect that situation where you read that thing to God. That's all I want.
Well, again, like we talked about in the last room, again, the God is just a title. It's just a word. That we should
connect it to this thing. Connect it to whatever it is. Whatever that is, make the connection. See, have you ever seen that Far Side cartoon where there's a chalkboard and it says A, this thing happened, B, a miracle happened, C, the result, and then it says, I think we need to put a little more work into B.
What's up, people?
Hello? That's what you're doing right now. You're putting.
Yo, Ernie.
You have a big blank spot. You have a giant blank spot between A, which is you reading this article, and C.
I'll give my PTR, Chen.
And C, which is the God done it. So there's this big giant empty spot. Also, welcome everybody to the room and to the stage. Thank you for coming by. I appreciate it.
I'm very have your contribution.
When are you going to open that room?
Please, 10. 10. I can't get a word in your room. You're not going to come in here, please, and take over. All right? Republican, help me out.
You're looking at me? I usually come in here and troll. I mean, 10 is the most delusional, brainwashed amongst all of us, I am sure. I mean, we should have compassion for this poor, brain dead Jamaican, retard, Democrat, absolute idiot. We should absolutely try to help this poor, young, brainwashed, brain dead moron increase his IQ so he can live a better life instead of just spreading absolute stupidity and delusions amongst all of us. Thank you very little, 10. We'll call you, don't call us, and thank you very little. God bless you all, and good Shabbos for Boinoi Shaloilim Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kadeshanu b'mitzvot David tzivanu l'chadlik neshei Shabbat b'nei Pri Hegafen.
And even with all that, too,
You summoned him, Joanna.
I summoned him because he's my hypnotherapist. He saved my life.
I hear that.
No, Republican through hypnosis.
Okay,
Okay, I have one quick thing to say.
They saved your life.
Mark, the soil man. I, yesterday, cut a lemon and then took the seed, put it in water, let it germinate, and now it's hiding in a dark space. And as soon it will take root, and I'll plant it in soil, and it will grow. A lemon tree. Do you know how, Donald, do you know how many lemons you get from one seed? 120.
Cool.
That's right.
Yeah,
Do you know how long it takes for a sapling
No.
It takes a decade.
Well, it's better than nothing.
Yeah, I think it's better
Oh, and also,
take a
hang on,
cutting.
I want to say this one thing, Mark, and then you can stop nonsense. So, Joanna, you can take multiple lemon trees, and you can, as they grow, you can braid them together, and you can make a braided. I have 2 of them. I didn't grow them myself, but I have 2 braided lemon trees, and each one of them has like 4 trees in it. It's amazing, but it takes years.
Yeah.
It takes like 5 years.
I wish I lived where you guys live, because I couldn't do that in Connecticut without a greenhouse.
Who lives in Connecticut? Okay, I'm in the tri-state myself.
Hey, listen, if you ever need anything, if you're ever on 84, Plainville, Connecticut, I got a lot of growing supplies that I'm getting ready to get rid of.
Okay.
And of course, I could share some red wigglers free, by the way, freely. I'm talking about freely.
Do you plant champaca? Hello?
Hello?
You grow champaca?
No, I don't. I just grow the. No, I don't.
Oh, okay. Because this is the most expensive essential oil. It is champaca. It is used in Hindu temples. Yeah.
Holy crap.
It's very expensive. I want some. I cannot buy.
You could probably order the seeds on Amazon.
It's kind of the same thing like with those Mexican Coca-Cola sugar bottles, the big ones, they're pretty rare. And I'll tell you, if you like Coca-Cola and getting cancer and drinking sugar water all day long, it's really the best out of the Mexican Coca-Cola bottles. But of course, get your Medtronic diabetes insulin pump installed before you get the diabetes. Anyone here is a diabetes sufferer? Anyone here use technology to help them stay alive?
Anyone has a lamp so we can put him inside the lamp or something?
That's right. We need to find a cure to the epidemics that are plaguing not only the world, but Clown House as well.
Created in 30 minutes max.
What?
All right, good night.
Why don't you tell everybody about the miracle scientific experiments you've been running and what you've discovered about M theory?
Hey guys, don't forget to vote blue in November.
Don't tell me to vote. I don't vote.
You gotta vote. Donald, can I explain M theory?
Please.
I mean, are you going to do it with the correct mathematical description?
Yes, but I need your help. By the way, Trump is going on trial tomorrow. It's a felony trial.
Oh, man.
Trump could be a felon if he's convicted. Imagine that, guys.
Then he won't be able to run anymore anywhere in the United States. That's okay.
Donald,
Trump is going on trial
Donald, I'm not allowed to vote.
Politics is brainwashing.
Are you a citizen?
Politics is brainwashing.
Trump has to be there for the jury selection. He'll be in court.
I don't care. Can you please shut up? I don't care about Trump. Can you please shut up and let
You should. You should.
But hang on. Shut up and let Hermes go.
Okay, Hermes.
Okay, here's what I've learned about M theory. It's several theories brought together. Some of the main ones are superstring theory, supersymmetry, quantum entanglement, among a couple of others, right? One of them also being the graviton. And when he's talking about this, it seems to open up possible theories to explaining black holes, wormholes, and white holes, along with the whole fabric of space and time. One of the basic things is that we may be looking at 11 dimensions, and Michikaku has an opinion that they may be infinite.
You should not trust what Michio Kaku speculates about. He goes to the extremes on his speculation. But the rest of it you said was fine.
10. Okay, I'll vote for whoever you're asking me to vote for. If everyone here gives a $1 to my friend who's blind. Really?
That's pinned at the top.
Oh, it is? If everyone could just click and give $1 even, that would be like $5, $10. And it would really help her out. And I could even have her come in the room. She's darling.
So I wanted to respond to Hermes about
Okay.
one more thing.
Me too. I'd like to respond to Hermes. Yeah.
Now I don't remember. So go ahead, 10. You respond to Hermes.
In cancer truth.
Yes. In theory, is pretty much on the chopping blocks because of James Webb. There is a documentary on James Webb on Sunday. It's on CNN. Guys, watch that documentary. There are some really profound revelations from the James Webb Telescope which scientists are grappling with because it kind of throws a lot of theories into question, including
none of it. No observation.
Including
that.
including
the observation that did that.
Yes, the young galaxies that
We have a
shoot
theory for that. We have a theory for that.
Well, that's just a theory. Sorry, I apologize.
No.
Why won't you allow more food trucks to drive through the border crossings into Gaza to feed starving civilians while you continue to take out the terrorists in Hamas?
The problem isn't getting the trucks in.
No, you
The
have
problem is
basically a
that once
made
they're
up
getting
fabrication. Go ahead.
funded by Hamas or led by gangs,
Well, in the north, you said that you destroyed Hamas. If Hamas isn't in the north, then how is Hamas taking away food? And if you open up more border crossings and give more
there's
food
a
into the area, allow starving people to eat, the looting maybe would subside. That's human nature, no?
The universe. In other words, it's expanding. Instead of expanding in all directions. So because
Before James Webb ever observed this, so it's another hypothesis that is now a scientific theory, which is as close to fact as
there's supposed to be equal mass in all directions, and that's not true.
Yeah, there is in the rest of the universe, but we have this one thing called a great attractor that is pulling a bunch of galaxies in an anisotropic direction from the rest of the inflation of the universe. But the rest of the inflation of the universe is going along just fine.
No.
Yes.
The mass, not all mass.
Show me the theory.
not all mass is moving towards the great attraction. Not all.
No, not all mass. Just our.
Right. Yeah. And so, but anyways, it's expanding not equally in all directions. No.
Yes, it is. That's happening.
No.
No, it is. The rest of the universe.
There's multiple. No, scientists are saying that it seems to be multiple big bangs that occur.
Stop babbling nonsense and cite your source. Cite
There seems to be
cite
multiple.
your source, sir.
There wasn't
Cite
one
your
big.
source. Stop and cite your source before you keep babbling on with nonsense. Cite your source.
Multiple big bangs. It's not just one big bang. God is great.
Cite your source.
God snapped his fingers in many different places.
I suddenly discovered that I'm the Lord, and I'm above good and evil, and so on. Therefore I...
The Bible. It says.
The Bible has nothing
But the point is everybody
in the
else
beginning, it does. Yes, it does. It says in the beginning, God created. God created. That's the big bangs.
Alright, does it say that there's multiple?
Well, that suggests multiple. Yes.
The Big Bang is not a creation model.
It's not
The only reason I know that I'm God is because I get
Anyone speak Hebrew here?
Doesn't that answer the lady's question about the fire?
Oh yes, that also
Very different.
would answer it. Yes, it's a question of...
Okay, I
There
want to
is
show
no
you something amazing. This is downtown Chicago, and I want to show you the prison rooftop
bad Greek translation.
of the, I believe the city of Chicago lockup, or this is a federal lockup.
Yeah, you can
I'm
say
not
bad.
sure.
Not
But
even
those
a
are all
translation.
prisoners up there.
Anyone wants to go to it and look at it, we can read it.
Handball, whatever.
Yeah,
But this is where R. Kelly was
the
locked
first
up.
line.
In that parking lot down there, at one point, there was like a party that was thrown for R. Kelly, I guess, while he was up there or something. Like some kind of Sunday fun day. Like you can see in the distance, it looks like there's a pretty bad fire.
Go to, who got a phone call? Go to Genesis 1:1.
Okay, we're in downtown Chicago, this is Jefferson Park
And
News.
tell me what it
This is Taxpayer Experience Day at the Internal Revenue Service in downtown Chicago. As you can see, the whole building, there's thousands of people lined up. It's difficult to tell where exactly the line ends because it's kind of like one of those caterpillar things. So this is the Union League downtown Chicago.
Telescope's first images of the distant universe shocked astronomers
begins now. It
in the discovery of unimaginably distant galaxies, mirage or revolution.
This is Colin Movies, aka Jefferson Park News. I want to show you what's happening downtown Chicago today. This may look like a protest, but this is not.
David, go ahead, read it. Wait, no, sorry. They've always used to say that the universe was dimensionless. In other words, it was
Okay, we're going back to the imaginary realm.
the first hypothesis is that the universe was infinite.
Wow, look at all the pigeon shit, bitter and needles, yum. Okay, that's called reality.
Yes, that's what you're telling me.
I want to point out the
discovery of the galaxy is just
that is a beautiful. Oh, look at this. Special preferential cleaning service. We'll clean right around him. So let's kick that. Poor bastard's been living there for years. Democrat doesn't do shit about it. Can't stop it. Won't stop it. Don't care about it. Don't care about it. CPA, don't care about it. Omega, don't care about it. Jefferson Park, don't care about it. Alright, everybody, God bless you. May this be a joyous Saturday for you. Health, love, peace, and right.
It's not even really the thing because it's Lambda CDM that predicts all of the galaxies and stuff. Not Big Bang. Big Bang ends. Listen, hang on. I'm almost done. I have one more sentence.
I don't know if Curly had it throughout his whole life, and if you think
1,000 years after.
we'll also give you a really
That's when Big Bang ends. Nothing
it's a
after
formula
that.
to team reach out. I'm sure I'll be feeling
That's
that the word
Lambda
ever has
CDM.
Again, we
we have always
Breathe, swallow them
said
whole.
before
Arrow shot at a
more
target,
exact
hit and
theory
miss
came
right.
out about dimensions and multiverses.
I'm just saying there are occult references, and these are very abstract things and some and imaginative.
Universe.
But
That's what.
you know, like you
What
said,
I
the
say.
moon is the door. I mean, the
Before
moon
Jesus
represents a
said-
woman. The moon represents change, and right now tonight, it's like an incredible
I'm
precedent.
not talking about scripture.
You know,
I'm
like
talking about
I do believe
what scientists
in essentially
say,
a
they
dualism
say the
or
universe is
non-dualism,
infinite.
or
And
really,
James
I guess
Webb-
it's quantum mechanics.
Yes,
Listen, I gotta tell you one thing. As I was talking to Issa.
Either.
Gio, hold on. I was talking to Issa yesterday, and I was telling.
No, we're going back. I'm sorry. Rewind. All right, we're gonna go back. Remember how conservatives failed in the West? Let me show you how the first British conservatives.
Be very
They used to say the universe is infinite. That is the first. That is the first hypothesis and the first theory that they said, and then more exact.
Basically, if you look at real estate, that's 200 trillion. I know, but the total, I've read that the total number of fractional.
Here's the James Webb observation from NASA.
And then in the US, it's like
This is on the NASA
1,000
website.
trillion.
It says.
I honestly don't believe.
Let me go back here. The discovery of this galaxy, this very distant galaxy, just weeks into James Webb's full operations, was beyond astronomers' wildest dreams. You hear that?
But not physicists. Physicists predicted.
The largest, most powerful observatory ever launched from Earth was built to revolutionize our understanding of the universe.
Post it in chat.
Big man, listen, hey, listen, I listen to you talk, right? So you
I want to see the article.
Yeah, this guy. Alright, so we're not going to have a conversation until Donald feel comfortable. It's not all the time you must feel comfortable, Donald. Sometimes you just have to eat.
You need to cite source. So cite your source. I want to see the thing because
You have yet to cite any sources.
You didn't ask me to.
Okay, cite your sources. Go ahead. Put them in. Put all the sources that you talk about. Lambda, sigma, A. Go ahead.
Sure. I have a Google Drive. You want the link?
Go ahead. Yeah.
Let me get the link for you. It's a Google Drive. It has all of the evidence for everything.
You have no link. No, just admit it. You have no link. Stop that.
I do have a link.
You have no link. Okay.
I do, actually.
Just say you don't, man. It's okay. I understand. You make up stuff.
That's my first.
All right. Hold on. Infinitely expanding universe. Or science attempts to explain. So this is from the Science Times. It says here, let me post this link. Okay, this is what we've always said.
That's embarrassing. But okay, so what is it that you want me to set my source on? I'll do it individually. I'll look up. So I'll do it individually. What is it that you want me to set my source?
The formula that you say you can calculate these new universes, these new galaxies at the edge. Universe finitely. expensive universe. Well, you do that. I'm gonna say it.
Done. Record done.
Okay. Okay. Let's read your garbage first, so you can read.
I've read it. You read it all you want. I've read it. I have more. I can do more. Yeah. Internal inflation and its implications. That telling you. It's always good to have multiple descriptions. Oh, here, this is a good one. This is just a book, though. Oh no, this is new.
Where's your reference to the James Webb Telescope? Up, you have nothing.
The James Webb Telescope is not involved in my evidence for the inflationary universe.
Okay, well here is Einstein's direct quote. Scientists used to say the universe was infinite. I am telling you, this is Einstein's direct quote.
I don't care about his personal opinions.
And he's a physicist. He's a physicist. That's what I say. He's a physicist. And you said physicists say.
And also, there's no way for me to know if you've taken that quote out of context.
No, look at the quote. Look at the quote. Look at the quote, brother. This is Isaac. We used to say. We have always
unproven. It says unproven.
Yeah, we know. But what I'm saying, that is.
So you just self-refuted. So you're wrong.
That is Einstein's direct.
No, it's a Snopes that says that was unproven.
I know.
That quote was unproven. It says that quote was unproven.
It says here. It says. Albert Einstein once said two things are infinite: the universe and human stupidity.
Okay, this is Jameson Mark reporting live. This is journalist John Kitover here on site at Jameson Mark Business. We're here in the
Just
federal
because a group of people used to think something doesn't mean that it was a hypothesis or a theory. In order for it to be a hypothesis or a theory, it must be falsifiable. There was falsifiability to that claim. Right.
I agree with you. But what I'm saying is that scientists used to say the universe is infinite. That's true. And that is what most Christians about.
But scientists weren't scientists. They weren't scientists. Science didn't exist in the 1400s. Ever since Newton, we've known the mass of the universe. We calculated the mass of the universe. Newton did.
No, we have not.
And it doesn't matter what any group of people used to think. It doesn't matter what any group of people used to think. All that matters is what you can demonstrate. That's it.
No. I agree with you. But what I'm saying is, James Webb is revealing that the original hypothesis of infinity of the universe is now more believable now than the
it's not. It's not happening. No, that's not happening, and it was never a hypothesis, and the only time that anybody ever even thought about it being a hypothesis was before we understood gravity and had measured the energy mass of the universe, and we understand that it's zero, so everything that you're saying is incorrect.
Oh, that is a far stretch. What are you talking about?
No, that's not. That is just an understood fact of physics.
The universe in its current state.
Sure, but
the universe. Okay, mass.
What's inside of our space-time? What's
inside of our space-time? The point is. You're right. They're calculating mass to the best of the earth, right?
Dude, your mic just went to garbage.
What I'm saying to you is that because the universe in itself, it's not all mass. The universe is infinite. There's no whole to it. No, a part of the universe, a part
is a mathematical construct that does not exist in objective reality. Nothing in objective reality is infinite. Even if we cannot count it ourselves, it can be counted by something that is outside of the system. So, nothing is infinite.
That's a couple.
No, it's not a cop-out. It's just the way that we understand physics right now.
No, that's a couple, brother.
It's not a cop-out at all. Because infinite is a mathematical concept. Infinite is imaginary. It's not reality.
Of course it does.
No, it does not. Oh my god. Yeah, okay, so cite your source that infinite exists in objective realities.
It's in a word.
That's not a demonstration. So I need to, that's not a citation either. So I need you to cite your source that says that infinite exists in objective reality.
The point is there's no multiverse.
No. I need you to cite your source that infinite exists in objective reality.
There's no multiverse. Everything's all connected. That's what I'm trying to say.
This has nothing to do with infinite. So
in other words,
motherfucker.
In other words,
you don't cite your source, I'll kick you. This is the 5th time I've asked you to cite your source.
In other words,
speak. Do not speak. Do not speak.
Even if there was multi.
Do not speak, motherfucker. I have asked you 5 times to cite your source. You have not been able to do it a single time. Please, either cite your source, shut up, or get the fuck out of my room. I don't care what you do.
In other words,
don't speak.
Universe is multi.
Don't speak. You are done speaking. Please, stop speaking. I'm gonna go smoke a cigarette. If you want to spout a little nonsense while I'm gone, maybe everybody else in the room will let you, but I'm gonna make Hermes a moderator. I'm gonna make Daniel a moderator.
Tao Te Ching can be translated as the book of the imminence of the way, or the book of the way and of how it manifests itself in the world, or simply the book of the way. Since it is already well known by its Chinese title, I have let that stand. About Lao Tzu, its author, there's practically nothing to be said. He may have been an older contemporary of Confucius, 551 to 479 BCE, and may have held the position of archive keeper in one of the petty kingdoms of the time. But all the information that has come down to us is highly suspect. Even the meaning of his name is uncertain. The most likely interpretations, the old master, or more picturesquely, the old boy. Like an Iroquois woodsman, he left no traces. All he left us is his book, the classic manual on the art of living, written in a style of gem-like lucidity, radiant with humor and grace, and large-heartedness and deep wisdom, one of the wonders of the world. People usually think of Lao Tzu as a hermit, a dropout from society, dwelling serenely in some mountain hut, unvisited except perhaps by the occasional traveler arriving from a 60s joke to ask, what is the meaning of life? But it's clear from his teachings that he deeply cared about society, if society means the welfare of one's fellow human beings. His book is, among other things, a treatise on the art of government, whether of a country or of a child. The misperception may arise from his insistence on wei wu wei, literally, doing, not doing, which has been seen as passivity. Nothing could be further from the truth. A good athlete can enter a state of body awareness in which the right stroke or the right movement happens by itself, effortlessly, without any interference of the conscious will. This is a paradigm for non-action, the purest and most effective form of action. The game plays the game. The poem writes the poem. We can't tell the dancer from the dance. Less and less do you need to force things, until finally you arrive at non-action. When nothing is done, nothing is left undone. Nothing is done because the doer has wholeheartedly vanished into the deed. The fuel has been completely transformed into flame. This nothing is in fact everything. It happens when we trust the intelligence of the universe in the same way that an athlete or a dancer trusts the superior intelligence of the body. Hence Lao Tzu's emphasis on softness. Softness means the opposite of rigidity and is synonymous with suppleness, adaptability, endurance. Anyone who has seen a Tai Chi or Aikido master doing not doing will know how powerful this softness is. Lao Tzu's central figure is a man or woman whose life is in perfect harmony with the way things are. This is not an idea, it is a reality. I have seen it. The master has mastered nature, not in the sense of conquering it, but of becoming it. In surrendering to the Tao, in giving up all concepts, judgments, and desires, her mind has grown naturally compassionate. She finds, deep in her own experience, the central truths of the art of living, which are paradoxical only on the surface, that the more truly solitary we are, the more compassionate we can be. The more we let go of what we love, the more present our love becomes. The clearer our insight into what is beyond good and evil, the more we can embody the good, until finally she is able to say, in all humility, I am the Tao, the truth, the life. The teaching of the Tao Te Ching is moral in the deepest sense. Unencumbered by any concept of sin, the master doesn't see evil as a force to resist, but simply as an opaqueness, a state of self-absorption which is in disharmony with the universal process, so that, as with a dirty window, the light can't shine through. This freedom from moral categories allows him his great compassion for the wicked and the selfish. Thus the master is available to all people and doesn't reject anyone. He is ready to use all situations and doesn't waste anything. This is called embodying the light. What is a good man but a bad man's teacher? What is a bad man but a good man's job? If you don't understand this, you will get lost, however intelligent you are. It is the great secret. The listener will notice that in the many passages where Lao Tzu describes the master, I've used the pronoun she at least as often as he. The Chinese language doesn't make this kind of distinction. In English, we have to choose. But since we are all potentially the master, since the master is, essentially, us, I felt it would be untrue to present a male archetype, as other versions have, ironically, done. Ironically, because of all the great world religions, the teaching of Lao Tzu is by far the most female. Of course, you should feel free throughout the recording to substitute he for she, or vice versa. As to method, I worked from Paul Karas's literal version, which provides English equivalents, often very quaint ones, alongside each of the Chinese ideograms. I also consulted dozens of translations into English, German, and French. But the most essential preparation for my work was a 14 years long course of Zen training, which brought me face to face with Lao Tzu and his true disciples and heirs, the early Chinese Zen masters. With great poetry, the freest translation is sometimes the most faithful. We must try its effect as an English poem, Dr. Johnson said. That is the way to judge of the merit of a translation. I have often been fairly literal, or as literal as one can be with such a subtle, kaleidoscopic book as the Tao Te Ching. But I have also paraphrased, expanded, contracted, interpreted, worked with the text, played with it, until it became embodied in a language that felt genuine to me. If I haven't always translated Lao Tzu's words, my intention has always been to translate his mind. Describing the indescribable, teaching the unteachable, pointing the way to the way. What does Lao Tzu think he is doing here? It can't be done. No way. Hence, Po Chu-yi, poet and stand-up comedian, wrote, "He who talks doesn't know, he who knows doesn't talk. That is what Lao Tzu told us in a book of 5,000 words. If he was the one who knew, how could he have been such a blabbermouth? That's the problem with spiritual teachers. They have to be blabbermouths, but their words are, in the traditional Buddhist metaphor, fingers pointing at the moon. If you watch the finger, you can't see the moon. How meticulous the great masters had to be. A monk asked Matsu, "Why do you teach mind is Buddha?" Matsu said, "To stop a baby from crying." The monk said, "When the crying has stopped, what then?" Matsu said, "Then I teach, not mind, not Buddha." The monk said, "How about someone who isn't attached to either?" Matsu said, "I would tell him, not beings." The monk said, "And what if you met a man unattached to all things? What would you tell him?" Matsu said, "I would just let him experience the great Tao." In fact, the truth is right before our eyes, right under our noses. So simple that every child understands it. And yet, as Bankei said, the farther you enter into it, the deeper it is. Where is the way to the way? What a question. Still, for complicated minds, drastic measures are needed. Lao Tzu's book was written as a response, out of grandmotherly kindness. According to the oldest biography, Lao Tzu lived for a long time in the country of Chu, but seeing its decline, he departed. When he reached the frontier, the guard said, "Since you are going away, sir, could you write a book to teach me the art of living?" Thereupon, Lao Tzu wrote his book about the Tao and departed. This is legend, but it is an accurate description of the way in which true teaching happens. He who knows doesn't talk, but words are no hindrance for him. He uses them as he would use gardening tools. When someone asks, he answers. Tao De Jing. 1. The Tao that can be told is not the eternal Tao. The name that can be named is not the eternal name. The unnameable is the eternally real. Naming is the origin of all particular things. Free from desire, you realize the mystery. Caught in desire, you see only the manifestations. Yet mystery and manifestations arise from the same source. This source is called darkness. Darkness within darkness. The gateway to all understanding. 2. When people see some things as beautiful, other things become ugly. When people see some things as good, other things become bad. Being and non-being create each other. Difficult and easy support each other. Long and short define each other. High and low depend on each other. Before and after follow each other. Therefore the Master acts without doing anything and teaches without saying anything. Things arise, and she lets them come. Things disappear, and she lets them go. She has, but doesn't possess. Acts, but doesn't expect. When her work is done, she forgets it. That is why it lasts forever. 3. If you overesteem great men, people become powerless. If you overvalue possessions, people begin to steal. The master leads by emptying people's minds and filling their cores, by weakening their ambition and toughening their resolve. He helps people lose everything they know, everything they desire, and creates confusion in those who think that they know. Practice not doing, and everything will fall into place. 4. The Tao is like a well, used but never used up. It is like the eternal void, filled with infinite possibilities. It is hidden but always present. I don't know who gave birth to it. It is older than God. 5. The Tao doesn't take sides. It gives birth to both good and evil. The Master doesn't take sides. She welcomes both saints and sinners. The Tao is like a bellows. It is empty yet infinitely capable. The more you use it, the more it produces. The more you talk of it, the less you understand. Hold on to the center. 6. The Tao is called the Great Mother. Empty, yet inexhaustible, it gives birth to infinite worlds. It is always present within you. You can use it any way you want. 7. The Tao is infinite, eternal. Why is it eternal? It was never born, thus it can never die. Why is it infinite? It has no desires for itself, thus it is present for all beings. The Master stays behind. That is why she is ahead. She is detached from all things.